So from time to time, we have relationship issues, and sometimes we wonder what are the causes of these. Now, I have someone with me today. I can tell you that this individual, they are very much, recommended to speak on this topic. And of course, if you did not know, this is a platform that you will find it out on. If you're interested to know about the woman brain and the men's brain as to why we as men sometimes we are the issues, and for women they are the ones that causes problem too. Well, we'll be unfolding these in this episode. I trust that you'll stick around and have fun with
We were
us.
being toxic, we were having conflict, we were having disagreement, you know what I mean? He wanted to leave and I was like, no, where you going, brother?
Cause first of all, when him say, me like him, I say, yeah man, I know. And
Yeah man, proper shame, you know? Proper shame.
as him tell you,
Proper
I'm
shame.
very honest, open. I say, yeah man, I know, but I don't feel the same way.
And say no females do that.
Yeah.
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 If him not tell me not like me,
Him not box me down
if him
all
not
of these
love me.
things. Him not
Yeah,
love
yeah.
me. Today, I have with me a beautiful lady beside me.
No,
I mean, she always like go like she shy. This is not really her platform, but I really just want to say thank you for coming out.
Yeah, man.
And I want you to just tell the people, who are you?
Okay, so my name is Ashle Bryan. I'm not really go into my credentials at this point in time. That's for later. I'm basically somebody who's passionate about mental health,
Yes.
essentially just psychology. And I love to give my opinion on things.
Alright, and trust me, she's not afraid to talk about it. So this is gonna be one of those episodes that you can just look for straight authenticity. Now, I want to find out some very fun things about you before we start. What are 3 fun facts about you?
3 fun facts. I'm gonna call them funny enough.
So is that boring?
Alright, I don't really know what to say. Alright. I have a very strange sense of humor. So majority of the times, my sense of humor is centered around basically just my experiences. So a lot of times I might be in a group setting and sometimes I'm the joker. It's kind of hard to believe though.
Joke and
yeah.
pack.
And next thing, once it name food,
Dede.
me I eat it.
Mighty God, that's one thing me can vouch for your fight.
Yeah.
Now go waste the food.
Once it name chicken.
Yeah, and if it is that it's too small, she go cuss. So just remember that. Yeah, man. That's really a
And
fun
next
fact.
thing, I like to write. I like to write short stories. Sometimes music. Yeah.
I know about the music part. I never know about the story, the short story
I
part.
have no.
Right? Maybe have you come and just share it one of these days. But I want to get right into the nitty-gritty of things. Dating. Have you ever dated before?
So I've dated in the sense of what the typical persons call dating, but I don't think that I've ever dated in the correct way.
Alright, so I don't know what the typical dating is and the correct dating is. So somebody wondering
Alright, so
what it is. What's the
yeah, so
difference?
usually in our thing, you can probably attest to it. We'll meet somebody who say we like them, talk over the phone couple minutes,
Yeah,
and then
and then all of
one
a
or
sudden,
two times all of a sudden you're boyfriend and
boyfriend.
girlfriend. Yeah, that's basically what I've done. But
Yeah.
what I've gotten to understand is that dating should not be something where you just pick one person in a one circle and you say that I'm a person for life. You're supposed to explore
Yes.
before you decide that I'm going to court an individual and then start a life with that individual. You're supposed to go out in a groups and find persons that you have like connections with and like interests.
That's right.
Instead of just jump and say one person, cause trust me, little bit down the road it lead you to a whole heap of issues where sometimes you say probably
Problem.
I shouldn't have done this way.
Yeah. And so that's why it's important to have multiple candidates so you can be able to gather
Yes.
information. And
I don't mean say if I go around and play with people pick me, you know.
Alright, but love how she come out and she mentioned that, because some men, some women, they take a person as a tie. So them go around and find people and say,
man do that too. Females are, I always talk about this, but we're very intentional, as in with the kind of mental thing. So whereas a woman will sit down and see a gentleman and she look on him and she think through all of the scenarios and whether him check all of the things from the box
Criteria,
before
yeah.
she jump. And based on those things, she will decide if this person is somebody worth spending her time with, or if she'll go play with the person. Don't take
Alright,
it
so
as gospel. It's
gentlemen,
just what
listen up.
I've heard or basically seeing females around me do. That's what I can say. I'm not saying that this is how it goes scientifically, but it's just based on experiences
So I learned
that I've
something
had
just
shared with
now.
me.
So women, what happened for majority of the women is that if this guy doesn't fit the criteria, so she will look to see and determine if he doesn't fit it, then this will say, alright, is it that I see something else that I want to get from him? If he has more dominance in this area, then I can maybe use him for that.
I can say that both sexes do that, and I don't think individuals will come out and say that this is what I do, but I think that both parties do it. We might not have a physical list that we write down and we check off stuff, but there's a mental list. I was in an argument with a colleague of mine about this. There is a mental list. As much as we want to say that we don't, there is a list. And when a person doesn't check all the boxes on the list, if they have something else that is there that is beneficial to us, I can tell you that no far we go it will beneficial even though we know the person that check all our boxes.
God, and that's why sometimes you have so much crosses that buck up in people like because they will go on now. You know this person not fitting for long term, but because of just a one little thing there where you see and you say, alright, I like it. And so you just cause yourself, put yourself in a line where you just cause hurt and harm in your own life and the person damage as well.
So much damage left in our wake with the things like that.
Because we try if you look past, for example, with the flip side, some women are looking for men, but he doesn't have the 100%. He may have 99, but that one little thing that they're saying, boy, I'm not.
For instance, let me just give you one example. Someone was told to me. For instance, you want. I don't want to do this because enough men argue about this. For instance, on a female checklist, she might say she wants a 6'2", right? And she need him to be intelligent and have him own house and probably drive a car.
Yeah.
Have little money, so you're secure. I've seen where females have dated men that are controlling, they're not intelligent, but them have little money.
Yes.
And when she say, babe, I'm hungry, him can run come and just eat that. You can go hotel every other weekend. Them work with it. So it's boy, I didn't want to judge, but I don't know what to say about it.
It's sad because I was in a relationship, well, not to say relationship, but I was getting to know a female and I was very much interested in her. In the end, I was told that, hey, I'm not really feeling this anymore. I said, why? I was told that, we are not connecting when we kiss because I'm not feeling your saliva on mine. It's not basically salivating together and giving us a chemistry with taste. And so I'm like, okay, no, there must be another reason behind what's happening here because it could never be that. That's just silly. When I went and I did my investigation by just, being persistent with finding out what's really the main reason, I was told that, I'm not a tall, dark guy. Of course, I'm handsome, but I'm not dark and muscular, and it's like, I was like, so hold on. So it means then that I am a person who I provide, I'm a God-fearing person. I'll give you emotional support, and I am a man who's trying to ensure that both of us work together to elevate in life, but yet still the physical, because I'm not tall of a certain height that you want. That was a big problem, yet still I met the other criteria. So I'm like, sometimes women, what like, I don't understand. Maybe you can tell me.
I think my father, my parents in general, explain a lot about these things to me, and that's why it's important to communicate with the older folks. We actually go through them things. They probably not go through it to the same extent like we do at our age.
Yeah.
But I got to understand that it's each person should always evaluate what it is they can deal with and they can't deal with. Sometimes an individual's preferences can be quite shallow.
Yes.
And I think if it's that somebody says to you, you're not my person because of shallow reasons, you dodge a bullet, essentially. But it's people always are gonna say there'll always be things where somebody just go put up with, no matter if it really not make no sense to we. But sometimes we can't even understand the complexities of someone's reasoning when it comes on to relationships and preferences, really, because some people really have some weird preferences. I can tell you, say, I've had somebody say to me that I can't date a woman with ugly feet.
Yo, that going like, me say a woman and she have a birthday with just a kick. We can't date a woman we have that.
But like those are things that, like the bread thing, you can fix it. You see, like if somebody, sometimes we meet some people and them have some destructive qualities, but if it's a person where you say, yo, this can't work, and I'm willing to change it, that type of person you can work with. But if I was somebody where you say, yo, but like, but you're not like beard,
that
and
can't
you not
work.
change your sheet, and you do this constantly, you talk about it all the while, and them not change, that is a deal breaker, but but understand, it's terrible, God no, but
it does the man. It does the
rough.
I mean, what's your thought on people who are healthy but they are looking for a toxic relationship? I have a brethren, eh? He always states that he wants a toxic female.
Don't make my day.
And I'm like, but bro, why you want a toxic woman? A woman who go shout at you, a woman who go want to tell you bad words, a woman who go choke you and tell you, say, yo, if you, and she go always constantly come at you and assume, even when things don't go so. It's like animosity is just a build up every single moment. You think that that's a healthy thing?
Alright, so I'm not going to say whether it's, I'm not going to jump and say whether it's healthy or not. I'll say I don't advise it. Alright, so here's the thing. When people say things like that, we have to always consider them background.
What's why? Where it's
always, when we hear people say stuff like that, we always have to go into the nature versus nurture thing. Is this something that is biological? Where like you have family members where literally they're attracted to somebody like that, where rough them up and beat them up, and the only way them know so the person love them if them deal with them so. And say no females do that. Yeah. If him not tell me him not like me,
him not box me down all of these things, him not love me.
And I think we should also consider the environmental aspects of it. Was the environment that they grew up in one that fostered that desire, or their friend groups as well, or what type of things they did experience in their childhood, and then leading up to the point where your friend would have made that statement. What are some of the experiences that he had that led him to reaching that drastic thing? But to be honest, some people really, 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 really only feel as if a person care about them if them express themselves aggressively. And I don't know why. Probably it's because they've experienced abuse, seen persons experience abuse, and it just became the norm to them, something that they're used to. So if they're not getting that in their relationship, them just don't feel fulfilled.
Yes. And with that, you have a type?
So that's kind of weird for me, because I was saying to one of my girlfriends recently, I don't like people look at me and say, so you like that person there? I'm always say, it not work so for me. Just get up and say I like somebody. For me, it's always if somebody can capture me mentally. When I say capture me mentally, if I can have intelligent conversations with the person without judgment, because you know people judgmental, and also if the reasoning ability is mature. Kind of enough people have intelligence, but them not mature. And once you say something that does not coincide with their idea, them ego get bruised. So for me, it always starts off with once a person can catch me mentally, and then everything else would just be a plus on top of that. So I'm never looking at a person and saying, oh, I'm cute, that's my man, my future man, or whatever. Never ever like that. It always starts further down the line. Like I'll see somebody and I say, oh, I can mesh with that person and we can talk, but I can't answer that question, to be honest.
I mean, for me, so let me show you levels. For me, I always went off after light color women, light skin women, and I realized that I normally get into some real, it no work in the end. You know, it just never ever go anywhere. And I don't know if because I'm trying to go after, you know, when you look at these women, you're like, oh my gosh, but take him.
Boy.
You know? And so I was always told that stop going after who you like. You know, there's a saying, if the person loves you more than how you love them, then that means that that's a person you should go after.
I'm not agree with
that. About that? You know?
I'm not agree with that.
Yeah. So let me know why you
Alright,
don't
there are a lot of sayings when it comes on to dating and relationships, them just don't make sense to me. Cause I don't want somebody love me more than me love them, because it come off unfair to me.
It's still not balanced.
Yeah, I'd rather it be balanced. Like I prefer the person love me to the same degree like how I love them. That one they just never makes sense to me, ever. And I've heard it said to me a lot of times, because for example, in my previous relationship, a family member said to me, say, you love the person, but you say you love the person more than them love you. I never really thought about it, because as I say, I don't believe in that saying. But in essence, rather than having the person love me more than I love them, I wished I had paid attention to make sure that the energy and the level of interest that I was giving and dedication was on the same level.
Reciprocated. That's the next problem, because sometimes we jump into these things with our eyes not open.
I think I did jump, brother. I not jump, no way.
so what you think you do? You just did what? Slowly walk into it blindly?
I think, alright, so before, I think I was so cautious that when this person presented to be everything that I was asking for, I thought the person was sent for me. Not understanding that what I asked for is not necessarily what I need, right? And Mother learned that later on.
What? You're not gonna jump over my head, you know. What I ask for is not necessarily what I need. I hope say somebody have that connect and sink in their head today.
So yeah, I never jump. I was very skeptical, but based on just I went to my parents first when the person asked me to get into a relationship, and we talked it through. And I said, you know, seem like a nice young man and come from a good family, but you know, sometimes those things trick us. So I say, oh, the person appear this way and whatever, but it not necessarily make it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the person are gonna treat you good or the person are gonna be for you. You just, I think I was, because as I say, I thought I was receiving everything that I needed based on it just being what I wanted, that I was blind to other things.
Yeah, and being blind to other things can really, you know, matriculate into other things in a relationship, because you maybe wouldn't know that this person, they're carrying some different issues, some trauma from a long time or whatever they are used to in the previous relationship, and they're actually putting that on you.
that's a one different thing. I think, and I will always say this, I believe that person should know themselves and work through their trauma and issues before them get like them connect with somebody else picnic.
Facts.
Cause my always, and I've been saying it a lot recently. If you're not sure, say you have your shit together, leave people picnic alone.
Yeah, man.
Leave them alone. Cause all you gotta do is carry your baggage pan them, and then when you hurt them, you know, and you don't want them no more, you gotta leave them with all of your trauma on top of feed them own trauma, for them go put it on somebody else. She's
That segues me into this. I was having a discussion with a male group recently, and we're saying that, yo, gents, you know, say you have a good woman out there, and one man, because him get hurt from one woman, him end up hurt every other woman him deal with. It's like him not have no care for the other woman, you know. And that's the next thing. Sometimes because of the hurt somebody got from the previous relationship, they believe and they give up on love them. They just say, oh, they believe nobody's out there for me. And that's it. I just believe that if you were hurt before, you should not try to just take your time, go through that hurt, you know, get yourself healed before you try to get
that's
somebody
the thing
else.
A lot of them, they don't. I realize it. I've seen it with my own eyes. A lot of persons, they are so scared of uncovering the person that is buried beneath the hurt that them brush it, or essentially them sweep it under the carpet and them ignore it and them just jump into a next relationship. Not understanding that no matter how you try to push the thing and force it under the carpet, it will surface in some shape or form. No matter how you try.
A word, and that's another thing that causes issues. So we started out saying that men and women, you have different ways and, you know, intricacies in relationship that may jump over into why it is that you have issues, problems, and that's it. Sometimes we have some, you know, in me they say, you know, but boy, I just take it and make it go on and lick you again, and you just go to your girlfriend or your boyfriend and say, boy, you know, say him beat me, but boy, I love the boy, you know, me just, and you know what happens? You keep pushing that under the surface, and then what happens is that down the line, all of that fire up in you. That's why it leads to men either kill the woman, or a woman either throw something upon a man to burn him up.
No, for cutting, you know where that leads to in a females? A female that generally always is in abusive relationships, and she never acknowledges that this is not what I deserve. You see, when she actually gets a good man and the man that treats her good, she don't know if I accept the good treatment.
I think I ate this, you know, me done. What you say a while ago, you see that the thing, you know, and I've seen that one of my relationships before, I was trying to introduce to this person that, listen, sex isn't love. You know, it is really what God instituted for marriage, confined within that confine, and so you have it as a complement in that relationship. But the person also introduced to sex before, so that when I came in the relationship with them, to really show them that, listen, this is how you should get to grow, build a friendship, build a foundation. Let's go out on different dates in public areas, get to understand each other's likes, dislikes,
But like how you point
etc.
out the build a friendship thing, but can I tell you that a lot of persons don't understand what true friendship is in the first place? They even have that as the base for a proper relationship.
A lot don't.
And then I think that we as individuals, we've been taught that sex is the only way to get intimacy, but we don't understand that you can literally not see somebody face to face and just based on having deep conversations, you develop a level of intimacy that is even more fulfilling than sex itself.
True.
Yeah,
True.
because you see, when you have that intimacy that is not built on the physical, when you actually have sex, you know, that's a whole different experience.
You jump on, you know, fridge, you jump off a roof, you jump in a tree, you do gymnastics, you boom flick and all sort of thing, you know, and that is how you find that fire and that flame just burning more and more.
I mean, biblically, when God in the Bible, them say you should leave sex till marriage, I think that was the idea
Yes, the ideal
for
reason.
it, that this person, the two persons would be given the space to develop a sort of intimacy, that when they're married and them actually get to experience the physical, it would be completely like
That it
different.
completes that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the icing on the cake, you know, and that's the thing, you know, just to come back, and because I was trying to introduce really what it means to feel loved, nurtured, you know, appreciated in a different way outside of sex, because the
She don't want
person, they don't want that.
No,
You
hear that.
understand? So I was being imposed on trying to deliver what the person was used to, and so it was being pushed on me to, hey, this is what I actually want, you know.
And then as a
Cause a
man,
problem.
how do you deal with something like that when you, even though you probably would be going against your principles, you want to make this person happy? And I go back to like when persons are not like they don't genuinely share this strong connection, that is where you end up in a, or they don't have the same, what the word may I look for? Same ideals and principles. You end up in relationships where one person is putting off what they believe in just to satisfy the needs of a next, when it shouldn't be like that. Because when you have the same principles, it will always be something that is always genuinely reciprocated 50-50.
Yeah, facts. You wouldn't have to be trying to guess and spell anything at all, you know. And so in relationships, it's a tough thing, it's a rough thing, you know, and different strokes for different folks, but principle is what I always say drives a relationship. So always remember, whenever you want to initiate having a friendship transition into a relationship, always remember, boom, what are some deal breakers for you? You understand? As you mentioned earlier, try to get to know these
Have the hard
persons.
conversations. We're afraid to have hard conversations. We're so used to shallow that we end up in a places and with people where like really not serve us any good. I always say to people that, and it might be harsh, I always say to people, I do not tolerate nor do I facilitate friendships or any sort of ship that is not beneficial to my growth. So if I find myself in a relationship where I'm not happy, where I'm not encouraged to realize all my potential, I don't say that's enough for me. I don't say that is not for me. And I believe that if I ignore that and I end up getting hurt, I don't have no reason for complaint, because I me do it to myself. Yeah.
You know, and with that being said, I know you have some persons where they must say, boy, she talk, you know. So she not prim and proper, you know. You know, she used to be a maid before, and she used to be one of the girl where she never get it all right. But for somebody, you know, who maybe just be saying that right now, you know, what encouraging words you have for that person?
I'm gonna say this. At some point in all of our lives, we've all been a yam head.
Thank God. See the yam? See me head all even shine.
I believe that we've all had instances where we've ignored certain signs and we end up getting hurt, and we'll continue to ignore them because we see something we want and we not take no for an answer. My advice would be to a person to always use discernment. And if you see something that you want specifically, you need to pray to God about it, and He will definitely answer. I believe that in many instances where I've found myself where I got hurt is because I literally never consulted God.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest about it. Yeah.
That's true. Same for me. And even when you have friends and families, people will see that, listen, this not gonna be, you know, this is just a ship, not a relationship. It's just gonna be a wreck in the end.
Super sink.
It's just a sink. You're still a sail aimlessly, you know, and that's something that sometimes I wish we would have learned from. But what it is that we learned from was something that developed experiences for us, so that we can be able to make better decisions in the end. you know. Boy, I really wish we could have had a longer. We're gonna come back, you know. I know that for some of you may have questions. Feel free to drop it in the comments, because of course we're gonna need a part 2 for this one.
Most definitely.
But just let us know if what Ashley was speaking about in this video, if it really made sense. If you have something else.
Wait, it makes sense.
Alright,
it makes sense.
she said it makes sense.
But you can probably give your addition to what I was saying.
Because some people are varying, you know, different
I know,
in their
I'm ready for
opinions.
them.
So let me know, so we can be able to have your comment on this, and you can be able to share your opinion as well. But this was really insightful, you know, interesting and different. I loved it. I really appreciate your time coming up.
Yes, friend.
You don't know things said. It's hard to love all the time. It's your boy Jovi Royal, you know, coming back with another quality, and ensure that you hit the subscribe button if you have not yet done so. And I'll see you again next week on this channel.
The father shows his son
how to be a man.
Man.
Start already.
So, if the father is absent, the son doesn't have any idea of how to be a man, and the daughter don't have any example of what to look for,
in a man.
how to be loved, and all of that.
Yes.
In a man.
Also, might I tell you guys that a father can be present and absent at the same time. And that is where I'll go with my experience. I had 2 parents, but my father was absent up here, and there wasn't also any example of what we should follow as boys and what my sister should look for in a man.